Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis of Bitcoin and the other cryptos that we currently follow. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom, and we believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where the crypto markets are going in general, in the near term and in the long term. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio so you can view our positions and progress for our 2K 5X challenge. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel. Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin. This is what Bitcoin looks like on a weekly chart, and as you can see, it's just going sideways. It's been in a range for a long time. There is a little bit of good news though, because what happened here is that we have a higher high here, we have a lower low, and we have a confirmation of a lower low on a weekly scale. We have a slight up move that came a couple weeks ago. We have a doji, but what happens is that we need to have a confirmation of a lower low, which would be a break of 6,000. That hasn't happened yet. So until it does, until it breaks out of this little box to the bottom, it looks like it's just going to stage for a while. So if you look at the daily charts, you'll see that that's what it's been doing. So when it was in June in this little channel, I said that this will be an important channel for us. It broke up, went to 8,400, came back down. It went out of it, peaked out of it for a little bit, and now it's right back in it. So this is where it is. So on a daily, it's gone up. It's made lower lows, so this is going to be an important day but here is an inside day. So let's not get too excited about what's going on here, because the key here is inside of this box, there's also another box. So let's look at it here. Okay. So what I mean by that is that this is a inside bar right here. So over the last week, the action in Bitcoin has been inside of this bar. And if you do it right now, it has to really break out of this one. I mean, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's kind of forming like a little, some people call it a wedge or a triangle. So it got smaller. It broke out of this one. It got smaller. And now it's moving to the upside. So right now it has a little bit of upside momentum. It has cleared, but it has to really clear about 64.82, close above there, and then it could really catch on fire a little bit up to 6,700. So let's talk about that. So this is what I'm talking about. So this was the daily bar that happened right here. So when it goes down, 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 down. So basically, if you look at the range here, this would be the range right there. So if it gets past 6,500, then it looks like it can go to 6,700, maybe back up to 7,265. But it has to break that level first. It's looking okay, not great, because we're still in this long channel. So as long as it's in this long channel, I haven't been trading Bitcoin, because what happens is that it just gets so choppy. Right, you look like you're in a good trade to the downside or to the upside, and then you have a violent move to the other side. And a violent move here is like 4 or 5% because it hasn't been, going at a fast rate. So what happens is that people remember days like from last year when it just went zoom, 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 or all the way down earlier this year. But over the last few months, we've just been going sideways, and the percentage increase of the volatility from a day-to-day basis has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that means that there's less activity. So because of that, you have to be able to take smaller profits, and so you have to be able to adjust your trading. So what happens here is that because people haven't really come to adjust it, in my opinion, it has these big spikes because people are FOMOing in and out all the time. What they're doing is they're taking smaller and smaller losses, but a lot of them. And they're killing accounts, and they're giving all of their fees to the exchanges. That's just my take on it. Because they don't want to miss the big move, right? And that's what I hear all the time. I don't want to miss the big move. I don't want to miss the big move. And when you have that type of mindset, right, and then what you're always doing is you're always in a position of fear, and that's a bad way to trade. Okay, so let's talk about Ether. So Ether's made a nice run up in the last day, but on a weekly chart though, it looks really ugly. It broke major support at 240. It looks like it's going down. I said my next target would be at down to 140. Right, so it's going lower and lower and lower. All I've been doing is been going short. If you look at it since May. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just going down. It went sideways for a while. So if you look at it on a daily, we finally have a up day over here, but it has a long way to go. 240 is a major resistance now. So it channeled for a long time over the summer, from June all the way up until August. It went down, and guess what it did? It channeled for almost another month, and then it dropped down again. So will it go up? Maybe, but it has to break 240 first. So 240 will be the next target to the upside if it continues to go to the upside. Look at it on a shorter time frame. So on a shorter time frame here, I shorted it down here because it was at 305, which was at resistance. It bounced off, so it did a move that I particularly like, which I've shown people before. So what happens is that if this is resistance here, it goes up, right, bounces back, right, tests it again, and then once it creates a new lower low, then I'll be in. So that's what happened over here. It hit it, went down, hit it again, and once it created a new lower low, I went short. I was riding it all the way down, and I just got out yesterday. So for the meantime right now, I am neutral. Right, so I'll just repeat that right now. For most of the cryptos in this time frame right now, I am neutral, which means that I'm not holding anything. So I'm just basically hedged to zero because Bitcoin is going sideways. Ether has made a run up. I'm only looking to go short on Ether. I'm looking to go only short on most of the other altcoins as well. And until it kind of confirms more to the upside, I'm going to stay in a more neutral position. So let's look at EOS. So EOS, same thing on a weekly. It looked weak. It's going down. So we had a chance here on the upside for a couple of weeks. It looked like it might break. Right? It changed color, but if you look at it, look at that. It never confirmed. So on a weekly chart here, right, this was the key. So it never confirmed. So that's 680. So it never confirmed on the weeklies, and then it turned lower. But the other good side too is that never confirmed to the downside either on the weekly. So because of that, right now it's just going sideways. So on a daily basis, that's what it really looks like, right? Oh, look at that. I have the same line right there. So this is where I was looking to go long again, and it never went back in. It turned around. Now on a daily, we have one up candle. So before I go long again, it really has to go past 565. So this is the channel it was in. So here, same thing, just like Ether, EOS was in a channel for a long time. It was also in a channel over here. It went right back into it. 421 was support. And until it goes past 565, right, I will remain neutral. So if you look at it on a 90-minute scale, you can see it. It's just going sideways. So people might get excited because they see the numbers. They see, like, oh, EOS is up 2.5%, Ether's up 8%. But numbers can be deceiving because think about it. If something is $1,000 and it goes down 50%, it goes to 500. And then you see the news, oh, it's up 50%. That means that it goes from 500 to 750. It doesn't go all the way back up to 1,000. You need 100%. Right? So as it's going lower and lower and lower, if you see these big percentage moves to the upside, right, it's a big move from a smaller number. So because of that, you have to be careful with the FOMO, because that's where people trick you. They say, oh, thing is up 10%. But over the last week, this thing was down like 20%. So if it only goes up 10% from a smaller number, it's not that big of a move. So we have to always be careful of that. So people are always trying to push the media, the marketers, the hodlers of cryptos, they're trying to push the agenda, right? That it's going higher and higher and higher, when actually it's going lower and lower and lower, or sideways. So we have to just stop listening with our ears to what people are saying, You have to ask yourself, like, why are they saying these things? Right? Where's the truth? And for me, the truth is always in the charts. So look at Monero. So Monero is going down, 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 down. We had a good move to the upside. So Monero is the only one. Monero and Link, in my opinion, are the only two that actually look kind of decent in this crypto world right now. I don't follow a lot because I just don't have the time for it. So I pick. So Charlie has picked 10 altcoins that he thinks are going to be the on a fundamental basis are very solid. So those are the ones that I've been tracking, and those are the ones I trade. So Monero is one of them. So Monero moved to the upside on a weekly basis. It turned, so it still has a slight upward bias, right? So this one is where it's more like a neutral, but with a little bit of an upward bias. So it confirmed to the upside. It didn't make a lower low, so it's still looking pretty decent. But it is stuck kind of in a range, and it's a big range because it's a 100% range. So 86 to 150, not exactly 100%, but near that range. So there are opportunities for you to make money in this range. So same thing here. It was going sideways, but the opposite. It's going sideways for a long time. It went down and went back in, and then it came back down again. So now the range is basically 150 basically to $86. And you have 112 in the middle. This is medium term. So right now we're at medium term resistance. So let's see how we can play this. So here we go. So basically here, I was looking for the bounce up over here. So same thing here. If it breaks to the upside, I'd like for it to test down, bounce off, and then bounce up again. And yes, I might be a little bit late getting in, but it's better than not getting in at all, right? And also, you have to wait for a little bit more confirmation as the markets are looking to go down. So here we have higher high, but we have a new lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And now things have changed. So now we have a higher high. And now basically we have to wait for what's going to happen here. Are we going to have, is it going to go down more and create a low low, giving us a little bit of confusion? Or is it just going to go down a little bit and then go back up? So this level here, if I was to hazard a guess, I would say that 120 would be a important area for Monero. Look at Icon on a weekly basis. It's going down. For 1 week, we had a weekly, but ever since May, it's been going down, 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 almost a straight shot. And this is very interesting too. See the candles here. See how they have no wicks since May. What it means is that on a weekly basis, it never made a higher high than the previous one from the Hakanashi. So Hakanashi candles are different because they work almost as a trend. So these are not the real highs. What it is it means that it's a high from the previous. It creates a number. So for basic terms, is that whatever the high was, it's mostly around that number. Whatever the high was here this week is going to be the top of this candle. But as it was going down, 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 down below, what do you see? Right? You don't see a single wick. So basically, it just kept on going down, 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 down. Right? That's all it did. And then so here we have a situation where it went up and people were getting a little bit excited. But once again, right, caution people about optimism. Is that this on the weeklies, for at least for Icon, is stuck. Right? So this is a big candle. And so this is stuck. So all the action has been inside of this week. So everything here is just basically noise, right? In my opinion. So let's look at it on a daily. And you can see that. Look at that. I don't even need to zoom out to see that this is just noise right over here on a daily. So this is the range that it's going in through. Until it really breaks this range, you can take some profits playing this range, but smaller profits. But that's all you can do right now. And so Icon on a short-term basis has been going higher. It broke through this level here, bounced off of, came close, never hit support over here. So this is what I'm talking about. It hit here, bounced off of an area here. This was a higher high from before. So last month, when we were talking about Icon here, I did the same thing for, I drew it. Basically a bounce here, go up a little again, which it did here, go down, and then boom. And that's the green line. Where do you enter? Right there. And then it worked out pretty much until it hit resistance. And so same thing here. Is it going to do the same thing? Is it going to go up, bounce down? So here, what we're doing is we're waiting for a little bit of a bounce. If you could go in, you could have gotten in on long over at right around here, around 983. Put that right there. All right, so, and if you're long, then that's a pretty good place to be at right now. Let's look at Enigma. So Enigma just broke through major support. On a weekly, it doesn't look good as well. It's going lower, 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 lower for a long time. It had a little doji to the upside, but it did confirm a little bit lower to the downside. So I expect Enigma to go a little bit lower. Some people said, you know, they're going to be buying it here, hoping it to bounce back up to make a nice little bit of a profit. But yes, you could do that, you know, if you wanted to. That's up to you. But for me, I'd rather just wait a little bit. So we only have one up candle, and that doesn't, you know, get me too excited. So right here, same thing. Right now, Enigma is, you know, it peaked over resistance over here, and then it came right back down. Right. So for me, same thing. The only way I'm going to get into Enigma is if it goes higher, tests support again, and then passes the high from before. So until it does that, I expect this to be a major resistance over here, and we'll see if it creates a new lower low. So the only good thing about this is that here's a high, here's a low, we have a new higher high, but we have to really see where things will go. So this is our first big curl. If you look at it, so do the curve. So this is a positive curve. This is our first one, right? But having one doesn't, you know, get me too excited. So this will be the second one. So once there's a second one, then it's a better follow through. So same thing here, right? That happened here. So this is the hard part, because this is hard to catch. But once you catch this one and you see that it did make a new lower low, then it might be going up, goes down, higher high, same low, and then you might be able to catch it. So do you catch this move from here all the way up to here? No. But at least you catch something, right? And you become a little bit of a better trader. So let's look at ZRX on a weekly. It's been getting crushed. I did like it over the summer months over here. But then ever since then, it's just been going down, 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 and down. Then, you know, there's not that much of because it's a relatively new coin. There isn't that much data. So the next level here would be all the way down at 5032. On a daily, it also looks bad. It's one of the few that hasn't turned positive. Right, it turned positive for the day, but until it creates a new higher high here, it won't really turn positive on the Hakanashi. So basically now here, this is in a inside day, right, on the dailies. So this is a big candle here. So yesterday it looked like it made a big move to the downside, and until it breaks it, so I created here. So if I look at it on the 90-minute, that's what ends up happening, right? So yesterday was a big move to the downside, and now it's coming back up, but until it breaks this little level here, nothing to really get excited about, especially because it can go, you have resistance up to the top. All right, let's look at Zcoin on a weekly basis. There isn't that much data, as you can see, very, very new. On a daily basis, it's just been going down, down, down. Same thing here. It hasn't created a new high, so it's not really much to talk about. So same thing here. You look at it, it made a nice move, but hasn't made a big enough move to show anything. So now here's Link. Link is one of the interesting ones that, because basically it was going higher before, it went down, but it didn't confirm on the weeklies. So, but unfortunately for me, the AM trend indicator, the wave trend is negative, so I wouldn't be trading it. So on the dailies, it did create a new higher high. It bounced off of support over here. But as you can see, it's just been channeling for a long time. And what happens when you trade in a channel is that you tend to not fall in love with your trade, but you can. You have the possibility of doing that. And that can be dangerous because then what you do is you can't pivot to the other side. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're long, right? And it's in a down market. So you know in your head before going in that this should be a scalp trade or a short-term trade, but it's making you some decent money. And it goes and goes and goes, and then that euphoria kind of kicks in, and then you kind of like, you know, start romanticizing it. It's like, oh man, what if it can go back all the way over here? And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it turns around, and now you're at a smaller profit, or maybe you're at break even. And instead of like getting out or maybe going short, right, what you do is, and pivoting, that's what I mean by pivot, doing a 180, what you do is you hold it a little bit longer, right? And that's the scary thing about trading. And that's a scary thing for something about Link, because Link can move a lot in a short period of time. So you can kind of get trapped. So because of that trap, I try to avoid it. So we have here on a 90-minute scale, it looks very, very good. So this is what I talked about last week. If you follow me, I said you should. It'll test it, go up, go down, and then go back up. But the problem here is now we're just in a zone, right? So all this has shown me is that this has been in a range. So I tried this last week, made a little bit of money, tried it again, and then lost some money. So, you know, until it really breaks out of this little zone over here, I can just wait. Our last one is BitShares. On a weekly, BitShares look pretty bad. Same thing as you see, it's going down, 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 down. On a daily, I did note a while ago that there was a position right here, right? So this is the low over here, right? Because you don't want to create a new lower low. Because we had a double top, almost a triple top. Top, top, top. We had a low. It has to make a new high. It cannot make a new low. Once it made a new low, what did it do? It made another new low. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And until it breaks out of the zone, so the first zone would be here at 1784, then at 190, that's 2156. There's a lot of headwind, right, to go into for BitShares to become a little bit more positive. On the short term, it's doing a little bit better, but it needs to get back up to 1626, right, for me to even start looking at it again. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comments section below. We do a very good job of answering all the comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.